Carolina, and not Columbia, Missouri, Columbia, South Carolina, where the Missouri Tigers are going to take on the 25th ranked South Carolina Gamecocks. I think it's important that we say that. The game is at 3 o'clock on the SEC network. South Carolina is only a 3.5 point favorite, which is kind of surprising. The over-under is only 46 points. It's one of those things, boss man, where I don't know if South Carolina is particularly good. I don't know if Missouri is good enough to do anything about it.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think Missouri has to do a little bit of what they did last week. They beat Vanderbilt. They barely got by Vanderbilt, 17-14. They raced out to a 17-0 lead and then didn't score another point in the second half. But you got in that first half, the person who scored those two touchdowns was Luther Burden, that freshman star wide receiver. He was the number one recruit in the nation as a wide receiver coming out of school last year, and Mizzou got him. He's a stud. They have to get that guy the ball. That's the only chance that they've got in this game, in my opinion. South Carolina has gotten up for games. They always get up for games in Williams-Brice Stadium. So having this one at home is huge for the Gamecocks. I think they're gaining a lot of confidence now as well. The Gamecocks sit at 5-2. I don't know that anybody going into this year thought that the Gamecocks were going to be 5-2 at this point in the season. Beating Texas A&M last week was huge for their confidence. I think Spencer Rattler is gaining some confidence. They got a special teams beamer ball touchdown last week. So I really think that this is a game that South Carolina should win. Mizzou is so-so. They really haven't been too much to write home about this year. In fact, I think their program is going in the wrong direction, while Shane Beamer has South Carolina slowly climbing the ladder. So I like South Carolina in this game. I think Shane Beamer's going to have them ready to play, and the fact that it's at home, I think, gives them the advantage.
All right, boss man, you want to just go ahead and give a prediction on this one?
Sure, yeah. So I think I look at this one. I think that South Carolina probably scores about 31, and I think you're looking at Mizzou 20, something like that. I don't think Mizzou's offense can really score enough points in this one to win. Not that South Carolina's offense is incredible or world beaters by any means. But I think South Carolina is the better team, and I think they'll be able to score more at the end of the day.
All right, Hammer, what's your opinion on this game? Spencer Rattler's look better whenever they're not asking him to do as much. Whenever he stays in his lane, he actually does a pretty decent job at quarterback for Carolina, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, there's a reason he was such a highly rated recruit. He has spectacular arm talent, and he can make all the throws. He just and honestly, I think a lot of the struggles this year with South Carolina is not fully his fault. He makes bad decisions, clearly, but they are also not protecting him well at all. So he's oftentimes running for his life. I think he's the type of guy who, look, he can make all the throws, and if you give him time, I think he'll only have a couple bad decisions in a game that may or may not get picked off. But if you don't give him enough time, he's proven, for 2 years now, really, that he struggles to make plays when a play breaks down. And when he gets flushed or when he gets pressure in his face, he's prone to mistakes, which, is not great. But I think he's a leader on their team. I think the team, respects him and likes him. So he's somebody who, if he gets hot early in the game, I think could have a very big game. If he struggles early in the game, I think things could go south quickly, which we've seen. So that's somebody, if you're South Carolina, that you would really love to see get going moving forward.
Yeah, give me a prediction on this game.
Well, I agree with everything Alex said. Honestly, this game lines up for South Carolina to win. It's another home game. They're coming off a big win. And I'm just going to go the opposite of what my gut tells me here, because we have been picking terribly, honestly. And this game, to me, it just seems like it's almost too much good things have been happening for South Carolina. I don't think South Carolina is the 25th best team in the country. They were able to get the run game going against A&M last week, which if they can do here with Marshawn Lloyd, I think they'll win. But I look at Missouri, and they went on the road to Auburn, lost in overtime. If they make a field goal at the end of regulation, they win. They went on the road to Florida, lost by a score. So, and obviously they played Georgia close. So I think Missouri is similar to a lot of teams in the SEC, playing up to competition, playing down to competition, and they're just sort of hard to get a read on. But I think they're due. They've all these close games they've lost. Obviously, they did win a close one last week, but they were up 17-0 and just kind of hung on to it. Truthfully, I have no real reason to believe they should win this game. I just think they're due. They've been playing a lot of close games, and I think South Carolina is due for a loss because I don't think I don't think they're as good as their 5-2 record shows. And I'm just betting on Eli Drinkwitz to pull something out of a hat here and come away with a win.
All right. That game's at 3 o'clock on the SEC Network. South Carolina's a 3.5 point favorite at home. Over-under is only 46